Word though. All right. Welcome everyone. As people are getting on, I'm gonna make sure I post in this group real quick that the call is starting. Boom, boom. There's a bunch of people trying to get on early as always. Cool. All right. I think people just don't understand time zones. I don't know what age that we learn time zones, or I don't even know like if people know how to just go into Google and just what time is it in California, or what is 8 p.m. Central Time, or whatever it is. I don't think people just know how to use Google. This just easy. That's how I found out what Mountain Standard Time was. I just went to Google and I just realized that it didn't make any sense to have Mountain Standard Time ever in life. I don't even understand. Because if I'm correct, they don't have daylight savings. So I don't. Well, it's some one of the time zones doesn't have daylight savings, so the times just go back and forth, and it just messes everything all up. But anyways, welcome everybody to Team Urban Adventures Sunday Family Time Call. Today's going to be a good one because you're going to hear from multiple people, not just me. Even though I know you guys just want to hear from me for an hour, just hear me talking. I know, I understand. Trust me, we're going to have those days. But today is not one of those days. What I'm going to do and what I want to share really quick, though, before we get started, is anyone have any shares from this past week? I got a personal share first. I challenged my organization of supervisors to do, go above and beyond this week and challenge themselves. And we started off the week at about 30,000 in our organization, and I challenged our team to 40,000. And I checked this morning that we were at 36, and I checked a few minutes ago we were at 38. So we're just moving right along. Pushing that pace. The organization is growing. Other people's organizations are growing. I think I got a chance to check in on Kylie and Orlando's organization, and they're going to be well past where they were last month. So things are looking absolutely great. So that's a win for me for this past week. Now, does anyone else have a win from this past week, the whole week? So from Monday or from last team call to today, does anybody have anything that they want to share that they're excited about?
I have some old clients recommitting, and I got my coworker on a 3-day trial, which he's already ready to get branded stuff, and he don't even have his trial yet, so that's pretty dope.
Oh, got him. Thank you, Rachel. Brittany?
I got something.
Brittany's unmuted. Are you trying to talk, Brittany? You were unmuted. You must got that Madison Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on. There's different Wi-Fi out there. Okay, whoever said they had something. Is that Thomas? I don't think you're frozen, Brittany, but because I could see you moving. I saw your hair flip just a second ago, so I don't think you're frozen.
There we go. I was muted. I got some good news. Well, actually, I have 2 potential members. Well, they're about to be a member. They're already interested in becoming members with Herbalife. They will be at the STS training coming this weekend. And also, I spoke with somebody from Jamaica. I wrote about it online. I spoke with somebody all the way from Kingston, Jamaica. I don't know how they found me, but they found me. And we're going to get them on a package. We got a package coming for them, and they got their weight and fitness needs about to be met. And I already know the way she's telling me, she's definitely going to be part of the team also. So that was my highlight.
Y'all hear how fired up he is? Y'all hear what he said, though? He got people coming to the STS. I promise you, you do that, you're going to win. You're going to be winning by default by having people come to the STS. And I promise you, I don't know, y'all, but I got a feeling for those of you who are in the Chicago area, I've had a weird feeling all month that this is just going to be a good one. I feel like it's going to be a bunch of y'all there. it's just like I don't know. It's a weird vibe that I'm getting that is going to be packed. I think maybe because I know some of you are invested in that particular STS, or maybe it's because Kylie and Orlando going to be on stage dropping nuggets. I don't even know, but I just know that it's probably it, or maybe because they're getting pinned out the world team. I don't even know. Like I just had a feeling all month that STSs in general, not just the one in Chicago, but just the STSs in general this month, it's gonna be some magic happening. So I promise you, if you got an STS coming up, go. And that one in Chicago gonna be fire. So anybody else with anything to share before we get started? Any wins or successes or anything that they fired up about?
I'm just fired up.
I don't know.
Dog, Brittany's on like 4 screens right now. I don't even know what's going on.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, finally. I'm just talking through my phone now. Okay, so I want to congratulate Andrew for going to his first STS this weekend and sharing his results story and how much he was making in the business, because it's a lot of, it takes a lot to go up there and share your results, especially your first STS, not really knowing what's going on. So I just want to say good job, Andrew.
Good job, Andrew. Brittany looking like she recorded a track over there. Like, I don't even understand. She got a voice coming from a different area, like she's dropping the track. It's all good, though. We got to hear the nuggets. Anybody else? I think Kylie was unmuting herself. She always got something that happened.
Hey, no, I'm just saying I'm excited. This is, 20th of the month, the highest volume that I've had, and people are just getting interested. We're doing a little April thing, and so getting people started on that. Just more people reaching out to about, like, my goal right now, it used to be about 30, but today alone reached out to probably 80 people. Trying to make contacts. Don't care, not stopping, I'm just going.
Somebody's trying to be successful. Anybody else before we go and get started? Any more successes for the past week or anything you're excited about? I want to make sure I don't want to miss anyone.
I'm working on getting a guy set up.
Who are you? You got to introduce yourself to the people.
What's that?
You got to introduce yourself.
Oh, sorry. This is Andrew Baumgartner. I got a guy that I'm trying to set up right now. He has a CrossFit gym. He just wants to sit down with me and talk and said he's got the fitness side down, but he wants to get his clients set up on Herbalife plans or something that has to do with nutrition, because he's got the other side covered. So hopefully I get him all set up.
We ain't gonna hope. You want to know something about that? I don't know if you guys know or if you see anything that's going on in Austin, Texas, or San Antonio, Texas. I'm sorry, but that a guy by the name of Sean Morton and Will Davis. Will Davis is in his first cut of second cut of President's team, and Sean Morton's in his first cut of Millionaire team. When they started off, they were just Sean was just not even global expansion team yet, and Will was just a regular Millionaire team member. They went to a CrossFit gym and talked to the owner and got the owner on the plan. The owner believed in the product, and now, like, I think a year later it is, like, they have workouts at the places where they do shakes after. They have 150 to 200 people that come on a weekly basis. You're going to have to, I'll tag you in one of their posts. But what it started off just like that, with getting the owner on and getting the owner results. It was a lady, got him on, and now the lady is like a 2.5 global expansion team member, and they're moving up the marketing plan, making a bunch of money, which I'll explain those positions. That's what I want to talk about today before we got started, about the upper level positions and the opportunities that are available. But I don't want to leave anybody out. Does anybody else have anything they want to share or excited about? Going once, going twice. All right. So before we get into what we're going to get into today, I really just want to quickly touch on the higher levels of the marketing plan. We don't talk about them very much. And a lot of us are chasing that supervisor level, but a lot of us don't really know what's possible. We see Garen Jones makes $100,000 a month. Garen Jones gets $80,000, Mark Hughes bonus. By the way, that's like the 7th stream of income. That's the 7th way. And how you get a Mark Hughes bonus, if anybody is wondering how they got those big checks, is if you're a President's Team member and you have a President's Team member in your downline. Everybody froze for a second. I think my internet. Let me do this real quick. Oh, damn.
Can you guys hear me?
I'm back.
That one I heard.
I'm back.
Yeah, we can hear.
My daughter.
What is going on?
You guys hear me now? I'm back. And my daughter unplugged our internet, so our router had went out for a second. But I'm back. Every time. See, that's why you gotta put your kids to sleep during call. But I knew exactly what it was, so I had to go plug the router back up. But anyways, like I was explaining, yeah, kids, every 2 weeks in a row just being destructive. But anyways, now what I was explaining to you all was a Mark Hughes bonus, and I know some of you all seen the checks that are being posted from this past weekend from Honors, and how you get a Mark or being eligible for a Mark Hughes bonus is by being a President's Team member and then having a downline President's Team member. So like that's why Garen gets a bonus check, and they base it off of like your contribution to the company, how often you speak on stage, and how many President's Team members you're bringing in your contribution. And I don't know, you guys know Susan Peterson is won top distributor in the world for the 3rd straight year, and they gave her a check for $2.5 million for one night, which she don't like. That's crazy, right? Because like she gets a check on the 25th for $2.5 million because she do Herbalife. Garen Jones gets a check for $87,000 because he does Herbalife. So I want to share with you guys really quick what's called the top achievers in the business. It's the tab team, right? It's what right now I'm the only tab team member in our organization, but we have people who are getting very, very close, and they're building up the organization. And what a tab team member essentially is a builder. When you're chasing that active world team is kind of like halfway to global expansion team. So there are 3 different levels when it comes to the top achievers. You have global expansion team, you have millionaire team, and then you have president's team. Now, the average income of a global expansion team member who is doing the qualifications, a global expansion team member can make anywhere between $2,000 to $8,000 a month. And we're not talking about the retail, we're talking about your royalties. Now, what royalties are? You're a member, and if you are a supervisor, you start to build a team of supervisors. So you get paid off of the 5%, off of what your team of supervisors, their production. So that's why it's important to get people up the marketing plan and the supervisor as fast as possible while they're building a team, because you start to get, a percentage on the production of your organization. Now, when you build enough supervisors, your organization grows and you're able to achieve these levels. Now, it's 20,000 volume points in your organization 3 months in a row to achieve global expansion team. What that means is everybody you have in your downline, that's a supervisor, add up all of their volume together, and when that equals 20,000 for 3 months in a row, you reach global expansion team, and you get a 2% bonus. So now not only do you get retail, not only do you get wholesale, not only do you get your royalty check, but now you're getting a bonus, a 2% bonus on everything that your organization did. And that's where I'm at right now. I get the 2% bonus when I have to do 5,000 volume points to get my bonus. But I get a 2% bonus on my entire organization. And I'll tell you guys last month what I made in my little story after this anyways. But the next level is millionaire team. And that's the level that when I came into the business, I was like, I need to get to millionaire team as fast as possible. And the reason I said that is because they said the income at millionaire team is $7,200 to all the way up into $14,000 a month. And I was like, that's well beyond average. That's well beyond, that's one of those like movie star lifestyles. You start to be able to travel and do different things especially the higher level. Your production bonus goes up from 2% to 4%. And then you're able to actually get your check to almost equal out your bonus. So then that's like $14,000, $15,000 every single month. And then there's President's Team. By the way, Millionaire Team is 80,000 volume points in your organization. And then President's Team is 200,000 volume points in your organization 3 months in a row. And the income that a President's Team member will receive is anywhere from 24,000 up. So it's a really big deal to get to these levels, and that's why those are the leaders of the company, because you have to be able to build something so strong, and you have to have an organization that's all working together. And I'll tell you guys right now, our team that we have right now is primed and ready to hit President's Team, and I'll tell you guys why. I look at other organizations and what they do is they all operate out of the same place, and we're all remote. We're all away from each other. I have like one of the craziest front lines in Herbalife. Like I have a really strong front line. I have, 5 or 6 people at any given time that'll do well over 2,500 volume points. And I've had 5 that do over 5,000 volume points. But when it gets real crazy is when my front line gets a crazy front line. And we're not talking about just 1 or 2 people. We're talking about a 3-stone pen, 3 active supervisors. That's what you have to build. Like when Kylie and Orlando get 2 more Kylies, that's when you make global expansion team. And we're talking about high global expansion team. We're talking about 2.5, looking to cut millionaire team. And then the same thing, when Brittany gets 2 or 3 more Annas, that you start to see how easy it is to look at volume every single month. And then all you do is show and teach these people how to take the products, how to get people on a plan, show up to the meetings, and then move on to the next person and groom them. You're continuously grooming somebody every single month to become, an established active supervisor. And once you get somebody to active supervisor, now you have to go find another one. You have to go find another one. Like I always tell Mariah, Thomas is going to be good. Now you got to go find another Thomas. You have to go find another one in order for things to continue rolling. Because I'll tell you, when you stop because you have one, you're going to be like me. My organization was really high last year, and I stopped recruiting. I stopped with the replacement. And then all of a sudden, we just stayed and then leveled and stayed and then leveled. That's what happens when you don't continuously put new people in your business. Because for whatever reason, people may tell you, listen, I swear to God, I'm in this to the end. And then next year, you won't hear from them. I've seen it happen before. So you have to make sure you always have new blood, 3 to 5 new every month. But what we're going to do today, I want to share with you guys my really quick short story, and then I'm going to pass it on to other people so you can get to know what other people are doing in this company. So if you do not know who I am, my name is Stephen Crawford. I've been an Herbalife member. Actually, at the end of April is going to be my 3-year anniversary. Before Herbalife, I actually grew up in Southeast Wisconsin. Decided to move to California because I just wanted more opportunity. I didn't have anything like this. I didn't have a community of people who were positive. So I just moved clear across the country after I coming home from playing professional basketball. And I was just looking for a chance. I really wanted to open up a gym was my main goal. But in Wisconsin, health and fitness just is not like a top priority for people. It's more so like beer pong and cheese. So, people aren't really like an advocate for working out. It's just not one of those places. So I knew one of my friends in college, went to go visit him in Southern California, fell in love with it, went home, packed up everything, moved to Southern California. Life was rough. I was getting ready to move back home. Ran into my sponsor, Super Mario, at the library. He face-to-faced me, stopped me, talked to me, got me down to an event, which is how I tell you people, listen, that's all you got to do is get people down to the event. He got me down to the event. I was excited. I asked all the questions, and then from then on, I flew. My first month in the business, in 3.5 weeks, I was able to achieve the level of supervisor, which at the time was 5,000 volume points. I think I signed up my roommate. He did 500 volume points for him and his mom. I did I personally did 4,500 volume points, and I made the level of supervisor my first month, earning an additional $1,200 my first month in the business. And what that meant for me was that I could actually live in California without having to worry about doing, odds and end jobs just to survive. Fast forward 3 years later, growing an organization of over 300 people, a strong 50 supervisors, 3 levels deep. Last month, the organization did just under 70,000 volume points, and through, my bonus and through my retail and through my royalty check, I was able to make just over $7,000 with Herbalife last month. And what that means for me is I can see a bigger picture. I can see a vision. I can see what's next. I feel different. And most of all, that's a lot of lives that are being impacted, a ton of lives. And we're not just talking about people on nutrition plans. We're talking about people who are in my lineage. And I was thinking today, like, it's crazy because I want to know who's ready to add their story to the lineage. It's like Garen Jones, homeless, living in his car, signs up, becomes an Herbalife member. 2 years in, president's team member. 4 years in, 30K president's team member, making $100,000 a month. Signs up Super Mario, who was, he got to the supervisor with an ankle bracelet on house arrest, fresh off of a felony. 2 years later, president's team member. 3 years later, making $20,000 a month. 4 years later, $40,000 a month. Signs up Steven, a guy who was pretty much about to be homeless. Signs him up, and he takes advantage of the opportunity. 3 years into the business, makes close to $10,000 a month. Who's next to add their story to that lineage? Who's next to have that story that says signs up, blank, inserts name, who takes advantage of the opportunity and changes their life? Who's ready to add their story to that lineage and make it to the tab team and say, like, I just took the opportunity and I ran with it. That's all I did. I'm not no better than anyone else. I just took the opportunity, signed up everybody, showed everybody the opportunity, and just kept on doing it. And one day it's going to fall through. So what I want to do is I talked to my a few of my members earlier. There's a position called World Team that we have in Herbalife, and to make World Team, it really shows a level of consistency. 2,500 volume points is absolutely amazing, but doing 2,500 volume points 4 months in a row shows that you're actually committed to building a team, building an organization, and at the very least, you're committed to being consistent. So we have several people in our organization that have made the ascend to World Team and are looking to either go to active World Team or tab team here within the next few months. So I want to give them the opportunity to share their short story and to share like their starting and their incomes, and then give you all one tip on how they made it to where they made it to. Because if you're just hearing about me making impact and making income, then it's not the same as hearing that over and over again from other people who are probably going through the same thing that you are going through right now. So I want to give the opportunity to any one of my World Team members. We're all going to go, but whoever wants to go first, World Team and above, please feel free to unmute yourself and give like we need it. Let's see who's going to be a leader.
Okay, I'll go first. Can everyone hear me? I'm sorry. I'm talking through my phone.
Yeah, you're recording tracks. We can hear you.
It's good? Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Brittany. My current plan is World Team. I've been a part of Herbalife for just about 2 years now. I'm going to talk back away. Before Herbalife, I was overweight and no energy. Not really sure. I'm going to this is really good. And I had no idea what I was going to be doing in life. I came to a point where I really was looking in the mirror, not knowing exactly who I was and what I was going to do. And I found Herbalife on Instagram. I met Steven, and I was like, what are you doing? I want to do it. And he was basically set me up on a plan, and I became a member. And within the first 5 weeks, I became supervisor. And my first month in the business, I earned over, I want to say it was $966. And I knew at that point I lost, within my first 2 weeks, I lost 14 pounds. And I believed in the product, and I was so excited to go to the next level. And I hit active world team within 6 months in the business. And I remember getting that $500 bonus check, and I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. They're rewarding me for helping other people and sharing my journey. And that's something that along the way I have grown so much as a person through personal development and being able to share my journey with so many others and help others change their lives, which is a growing experience. And what I learned at STS this weekend, one of the things they say is you're gonna have failures along your journey. You know, you're gonna fail and you're gonna get back up, but you always remember to fail forward. And through this, I've learned that you're gonna make mistakes, and you're gonna learn so much about yourself and who you become through this journey. It alone is so worth it, because I would say within the last month I've been going through this amazing growth spurt where I'm becoming a whole different person, and it's honestly the most rewarding feeling ever. And you're going to have to make sacrifices to become this different person, and you're going to have to make changes in your circle of influence, because who you surround yourself with is a reflection of you. So if you're surrounding yourself with negative people, you become a negative person. And if you surround yourself with positive people, like going to the events is probably the most important thing, because you're surrounding yourself with positive people who are making an impact in the world, and you get to share your experience. They're sharing their experiences. So that's just a little bit about my story, and I'm really excited to hear everyone else's. I'm going to hand it back over to Steven now.
All right, anybody else, feel free. Make sure you tell us what you made last month, so we all know.
Yo.
Oh, sorry. I'll share what I made last month. I forgot to add that in. Last month I made $2,200 with Herbalife.
Wallin'. All right, you guys go ahead.
All right. Hey, my name is Orlando and
Kylie,
aka Kylando. We've been in the business for about
That's tight.
Hey, so we've been in the business for 2 years and 2 months now. We are currently active world team, freshly new active world team, and proud of it. I'm gonna start with my story first, and then Kylie will finish out with hers. So basically, before Herbalife, I was confused as to what my next step in life was. I went to college. I played basketball D2, and then ended up going into an office job at United Healthcare. I drank Monday through Friday, even the weekends. I took a day off of drinking on Sunday to recoup, and basically just stagnant. I had no really goals of what was next. And I just, didn't have any next goals as far as like year wise. So if someone was to ask me, well, what am I going to be or where I'm going to be in 5 years, I had no clue. So I would say the summer of my 2 years out of college, I was working out and was introduced to Herbalife by Steven, actually. And for those of you who do not know, Steven is my cousin. I was scrolling through. I actually I remember to this day, I made a Instagram at the gym in between my sets. Why? I don't know. But I made an Instagram, and then I was clicking, and then how it comes up, friends, family, So I clicked it, and I found Steven, and we haven't talked in a while. We both split ways, went to college, and he was just as skinny or probably skinnier than I was at that time. And
I saw his before and after picture and was amazed. I didn't see Herbalife or anything, so I hit him up right away and like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm doing Herbalife. So I was like, whatever you're doing, I'm in. Literally mid-set in the gym, I signed up as a coach, Herbalife coach. I didn't know what that meant, but I was a member. So I signed up, and I actually had to write down my results. So I make sure I get it here. So I was able to gain 30 pounds of lean muscle, and I dropped my body fat percentage from 30% down to 15%. So I actually had some pretty sick results, and that right there sold me. I was in. I wasn't in it for the business or anything, but the results itself spoke for itself. Everybody started asking me what I was doing, and I just felt great. So into the business, when we actually start doing the business, was actually after our first event, because the events basically just changed our whole mindset. We are going to do business right after the Chicago extravaganza, which was our first event. And we had made that first month in the business $170.73, which was crazy cool. That's when we first actually did our little celebratory dance in the living room at our old apartment. We just dance in circles, jump up and down and yell and scream. And we still do that till this day with every single check, every single cut. So it's great. Stephen had asked us as far as the keys to achieving world team was one of the questions we wanted to answer, and I had was always be available was one of them. I've noticed that no matter what, like let's say for example you got somebody that messages you on Facebook or someone that texts you. Be available. I mean, it sounds, maybe you're asleep. Like if you can't answer that message or anyone's question within the time frame of them, like let's say they're on break at work, and I know everybody's not going to be available because we all don't do this full time, and neither do we. But if they're on break at work, they ask you about Herbalife, and then all of a sudden, a couple things go on throughout the day, and then they decide against it. I mean, then, that's opportunity that's lost, but then again, there always is other opportunities out there. But that's just what's worked for us is to always be available. And then another one that I will add on, Kylie will go on to the next, couple nuggets is always be branded. we figured that to achieving world team, always being branded, it's always going to be a conversation piece no matter what, or even, for someone to just look at it and then see you a different time. We have people on Facebook that follow us all the time. We've never talked to them, and then we'll go out somewhere and they're like, oh yeah, you guys don't even know who they are. So staying branded is going to get you a long way. Wear the button, wear the brand, use where to talk. And that's all I got. Hand it over to Kai.
I'm Kylie. I'll give my short story. Before Herbalife, I was the typical unhealthy college kid. I gained the freshman 30 my first year of college. Severely unhealthy, drinking all the time, eating unhealthy all the time, always napping between classes, between jobs, between everything. I moved to Green Bay in 2014, and that's basically when I was introduced to Herbalife by default through him, when he found Steven online, and I wasn't really that interested in it right away. I was the girl that doesn't need supplements. I can work out and kind of eat healthy. So I kind of did it by default. I ordered myself a quick start when we had started it. So with that, I'd lost 15 pounds. And throughout the 2 years we've been doing it, I've gained 10 pounds of muscle as well. And I'm no longer taking naps, which is huge for me because I would schedule my naps in between classes and in between my job. It was pathetic. So tons of energy, which has been super awesome for me. One of the things, we've been in 2 months and 2 years and 2 months. And last month, Herbalife paid us $2,324.04. So that is our biggest check we have gotten from Herbalife. We earned about $800 in retail, so a total of $3,000 we earned in Herbalife last month. And basically what that means to me is how realistic and real and how possible this is for everyone. We're simply use-wear and talking every single day, always being a product of the product, never having any days off, having a no excuse, no matter what mindset is super key. And something with our check being that last month, like I said, with it being more real, but when I sit and think of how much I made last month in my job and this being over that, that's when it's super eye-opening for me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so possible. I know most of you know my goal was to not work another Christmas. This past Christmas, we had to be apart because he couldn't get off work. So that was our goal, is no more Christmases. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're seriously not going to have to work another Christmas. And, you put those goals out there and those declarations and you work so hard to hit them. When they're becoming more and more real and more eye-opening, it's so awesome. So one of the things that I've, ever since all this has become more real, is the power of believing. When you declare something, believe you can do it, and it seriously will happen, and it becomes easier and easier. And one thing I was telling him when I was trying to think of like a tip to tell everyone, I know we've gone to obviously tons of events within 2 years, and certain speakers hit you certain ways, and some speakers I'm like, oh, they're just saying the same thing, but like it's the timing of when you hear certain things, and it really is that simple. Use the products, wear the brand all the time. We're known as the Mr. and Mrs. Herbalife in Green Bay. So it's just always being known that you're the people to come to when people have goals, and the consistency seriously pays off. So that's our bit.
Hi, Lando. Over and out.
And you got closing too. Wow, you guys are quite they in love. That's what it is. All right, I think only Kylie's left that's on the call. That's
Shush. Hi, I'm Kylie Bittner, and this is
Sean Sturkle.
Hi, Sean.
Oh!
Presently, actually, tomorrow will be my 1 year of being in the Herbalife business. When I started, Kylie, who is actually Kylie and Orlando, are my mentors. Kylie is my best friend from when we were little, like 7 years old. So I've known her for a good majority of my life. When I first started, I was a client and just kind of super inconsistent. And then when I finally started and was serious about it, I dropped 8 pounds in my first month and a half, and then just kind of continued from there. To this day with Herbalife, I'm down 15 pounds. In my first month of the business with retail, I earned $91. And last month, we earned $1,139. When I started, and like what I talked about Kylie, it started physically. Like when I looked in the mirror, I wasn't happy, but I also was depressed. I was insecure. My confidence was gone. It's gone. It's out the window. I mean, I look in the mirror now and I'm happy with who I am. I'm confident. I'm powerful. Doing the I am affirmations is huge for me. A year ago, who I am today, completely different. And that's a lot to Herbalife, and just truly the Kais. We always talk about the Kais, like having your best friend back. I mean, there's no emotion to it. I mean, it's real. What's crazy, obviously, if I was doing an elevator story, it'd be a little shorter. But the thing about it is, my first event was July extravaganza of this last year, which is actually Kylie and Orlando's first event as well as an extravaganza. After that, I didn't attend one till October. Then I attended October, November, February, March. And going to these events really is when I started seeing the difference. I hit October. Then November was my first month of 2,500. Moving to December month, it's just been consistent since then. With me.
Hey, hold on. Somebody just called in. It was all just being in the story. Go ahead.
But just adding the events to what I'm trying to do with Herbalife, what we're trying to do now. What's crazy is also having somebody like Sean beside me. Going back to September when we've been together, that's really when the business started, just having that other person beside you that believes in you and believes in Herbalife and what's possible. So I owe a lot to him. As far as, success between getting to getting to World Team, it's just realizing that other people don't choose your happiness. It's you that chooses it. You can have a million no's, but that one person that said yes, you made a difference in their life, and that's just what has to keep you going. That's a lot of it, but it's crazy to think that tomorrow is my 1 year, and where I came from March 21st, 2014 to 15, to where I'm at now. It's just speechless. But Sean, he's been in it for a little bit, so if you have a few words.
So I'm not down like any crazy body weight or anything like that. Probably 5 pounds, 5 to 7 pounds, but definitely down 5% in the body fat area. So down there with the products. Energy is crazy, but I've always been an energy guy. But before Herbalife, I was with Advocare for 7 years. My college basketball coach, he was a big time Advocare guy. He sparked up the water coolers every day for us. So we just kind of did it because that's what our coach did. That's what we believed. We followed him. I got, a big discount with it, but I never did the coaching side of it like y'all do, and I'm learning kind of as we're going here. So I'm full-time, switched over. Herbalife is what it is now for me. And I think the big thing for us now, and like what Kylie's done, is like she's a grinder, like night in, night out, making sure that she's getting it done. Emily's on the call now, one of her friends from back in her hometown, and she's part of our Accountable April challenge, the little abs and apples challenge that we got going on. And like the challenge is starting to take off now. I think we've gained 3 or 4 more clients just in the last 2 days because of it. So it's just starting to roll a little bit. So I think as long as you're trying to do something, people are gonna take notice to it. Are going to take to it, but just keep working. I think that's the big thing. You got to keep working.
Absolutely.
Okay, Sean, over and out.
Oh my gosh, you guys are too much for me right now. Oh my gosh, so I definitely appreciate the shares. And before I say anything, I just literally right now just saw this collage Rachel put together, and that's why I fell on the floor laughing. That joint is hilarious, Rachel. And then also, I don't know if you saw Orlando, Wisconsin just won, game winner. Bronson came. Wisconsin wins. Okay, back to the regular schedule program. I appreciate the shares from everybody, and I think the most important thing to take away from that is that the fact that all of us are different kinds of people. I'm different from Brittany. That's different from Kylando. That's different from Kaishan. That's different from, all of these different people. We're all different kinds of people, but we've all experienced, or going to experience the same level of success. You can see it coming. You can see where I was. Kylie and Orlando are there. Where I was, where Brittany, where she's going. They're almost at the same page. And then you got Kylie and Sean coming up to replace. Like everybody is going to hit that same level of success. But it all comes down to what? Believing that you can and getting people to the events as long as you're with yourself. It ain't rocket science, you guys. It's not like you have to be like the most smartest person in the world to do this. You just have to want to do it. You just have to truthfully believe that whatever it is that we got going on, it can change somebody's life. I don't know what it is about 2016, but my belief factor was even kicked into a higher gear. And I think it was because I started to see the success of not just myself, but for people in my organization. When you see other people, like I can only imagine how Kylie and Orlando feel hearing, Kylie made well over $1,000 in the business. That's what it gives you, another sense of motivation that not only you can do it, but you can help somebody else change their life. When it was a times where, where Rhonda and even Brittany, when Brittany was going through global expansion team cuts and making, thousands of dollars every month, I'm like, man, like this is not only crazy for me to change my life, but other people as well. You can literally give somebody this $70 opportunity that all you got to do is get in shape and they're not asking you to pour thousands of dollars into this. They're not asking you to spend 20, 30, 40 hours of your time on this. They're not asking you to give up your life for this. They're just saying, listen, we got something that you can add into whatever you're already doing to make your life just a little bit better. And that's all it is. And if you so happen to choose to want to make it a full-time thing, you can. Like, I look forward to the day that I hear the story of Kylie, you know, her last day at work. You know, those stories are that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to see Kylie and Sean on the move. This time we're not going back. I can see the post coming now. You know, but it all boils down to who really thinks that they can do this and who really wants to. Because as I sit back every single night right now, I just think about like where I was 24 hours before I came into this Herbalife opportunity. And I wasn't like everybody else. You know, I wasn't like, you know, I didn't have a good stable job. I didn't have a good surrounding around me because I was just trying to get by pretty much when Herbalife found me. But other people are like, are in a mentally worse spot than I was because people are going to jobs that they hate. People are going to a position to where they're working for somebody else for 40 years until you retire, and then all of a sudden, what then? You're on a fixed income? You guys know when it really hit me when my grandmother retired, right? My grandma retired from work, and I went to go visit her. And she said, we can't really do too much. You know, I'm on a fixed income. And I was like, that's what people work for. My grandma worked for the same company, the same hospital for over 30 years, I'm sure. And all of a sudden she retires and she can't even do anything because she's worked on she's on a fixed income now. What kind of life is that for anybody? You think she was thinking about that when she was 19, 20, 22, 23 years old? I wonder if I just keep doing the same thing I'm doing now. How will my retirement be? No, we don't think about it. We're always in the now. But I'm a thinker. I'm like, I don't ever want to get myself in a position to where I'm 40, 50, 60 years old and I retire with nothing. You know, my health is shot. And I don't have, you know, a good life set up for, you know, my kids. And then it's like you are just waiting around for things to get worse. And I don't ever want to have my life like that. Yeah, I'm not even close. I'm not even 30 years old yet, of course. But it's like I'm thinking about this stuff now. I want things to be set in stone now. My children deserve it, and their children are going to deserve it. And I promise you, I've done a lot of things in my life, a lot of work for a lot of people. And I've never came across a company like Herbalife that says, hey, we got all of this for you, but you just got to work for it. You just got to do a little bit of sacrifices. You all know I used to go to meetings and trainings by myself here in LA, you know, by myself for like a year and a half, a good year and a half before I consistently got somebody else going to trainings. But I was still going. I was still qualifying for VIP. I was still doing high volume. I was still setting the foundation for somebody to come in and want to do the same thing. Did my internet go out again? Here we go again.
Someone shut it off again?
Nope, my daughter. Yeah, my daughter did again. I'm gonna whoop her butt in a second. Let me just finish up before she pulled the plug on your boy again. But all in all, guys, I just really want you to understand the opportunity that you have. There are people coming back in Herbalife right now that quit when I first started because they were looking for something else and they left and they didn't find it. Life got hard for them. And I want you to understand, like, not too many people are going to give us this opportunity. I don't know if you all who all see my status and you want to know how much that means to me to, you know, I mean, I don't never want to make this a race thing ever, but where I'm from, you know, people like me don't really make it. People like me don't achieve the level of high success that society considers what we're doing. Hey, Millionaire Team is in the top 5% of the world for income. Top 5%. You can be making multiple six figures, right? And the craziest thing is, like, we have the craziest opportunity to break all kind of precedents. We have the opportunity to all the naysayers that say, hey, listen, this generation just is not going to get it. We have Herbalife. Herbalife is so much more than what anybody really, and I love seeing the statuses that people put together. Like, Herbalife is so much more to me. It's family. It's all it is. I didn't have anything like this before Herbalife. I was a loner. I was good at speaking, but I didn't talk to nobody. So it was just like, I didn't know how to speak to people. And then all of a sudden I come here, I got a family, and like, just like Brittany said, you really find yourself. You find the best version of yourself, the mature version of yourself, the everything is no problem version of yourself, the I want to chase any and every goal version of yourself, not the I want to go to this job and just be miserable version of yourself, not the I don't care if I'm unhealthy or not version of yourself. You are really finding your calling. And the last thing I want to say, or the last thing I want to do before I get off here, is we just got somebody who just hit her first cut of active supervisor, and she's doing some amazing things in Wisconsin. So I want her to unmute herself and give us one tip on how you think you are able to just flip it around, and now you're in cuts active supervisor with a whole week and a half left to go. So who knows what's going to happen? And you got a downline who's bringing about 3, 4, 5 people to SDS, he said. So please, y'all give it up for just smash through her first cut of active supervisor, Mariah. You can unmute yourself. I know you ain't used to unmuting yourself. You can do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not. Hi guys. Well, I didn't know I was gonna be speaking, but honestly, I just said I'm all in. So, but really though, it came from because I had a bad month last month, and then just being able to be around the team from an event. Leaving the event, from being with the family, to come back home and just be like, you know what? I'm diving in. Like, everyone, my team believed in me. I believed in me. Hearing all this, the nuggets and just everything from the team just really just pushed me. So I just dived in and said, let's go. And ended up talking to Thomas. Shout out to Thomas. And told him what's up, and he was willing to ride with me. So boom. And we'll be having a club opening up pretty soon within the next 2 weeks. So pretty much the first or second week in April. So yeah, we're working. We'll be in there tomorrow, finishing up a couple things and making a schedule. So I'm pretty excited. So yeah, thank you.
Y'all give it up one more time again for first cut active supervisor, Mariah. I mean, the stuff that she's saying is awesome, is amazing. Opening up a club, that is diving in. I remember Brittany talked about that, like tiptoeing in this business and then diving in. I think my first month, it was almost like somebody's daddy pushed me in. You know, when your dad, when you're really young and he just pushed you in the water to make you learn how to swim. I think that's what Super did to me when I first started, because he knew that I needed to survive and I needed to learn. But like, it literally takes you just deciding to dive in. Listen, you can only go to so many meetings before you realize that this is like the craziest thing in the world. And you have to realize that everything nowadays, most of the things that are outside of these Herbalife walls are negative things, not uplifting things that are like really not being conducive to your success in your life. Everything outside of Herbalife is. Tell me, when you sign up for Herbalife, you go be around regular people like that you used to be around. The conversation is kind of weird to you. Like, man, these people, all they talk about is, man, nobody has any ambition. You really talk like that? You need 4 agreements, and you need to 10x your life. You ever find yourself doing that? I do that all the time now. I'm like, man, you need to listen. Don't bring that negativity around me, because I am in Herbalife and we ain't nothing but positive people who are looking to change and impact the world. You might want to come and learn something. And that's how you got to look at this thing, because I truthfully, this is like an amazing opportunity, and I'm glad that Mariah's taking that step. And I was sitting back thinking, I was like, a club is crazy, right? Because it gives you a housing unit for a team. It gives you a place to build a team out of, and you don't have to. I was thinking, like, some people think that they got to have the flyest, fanciest, like most dope spot ever in the world before they open up a club, where they got to have a whole bunch of money and make it look like everything. But then I actually, I talked to Mariah, and I got off the phone with her, and I sat and I was thinking, I was like, man, you know what? It don't matter what kind of spot you got, as long as you got a spot. And the thing is, I remember when I moved out here, Super Mario, we was in a park. We were in the park doing shakes because we knew we had to have something. And this is another key. I think maybe for several months in a row, I used to tell Kylie in Orlando, I was like, you got to get an event. You got to get an event. And Orlando used to always say to me, we working on it, cuz. We working on it. And then one day it happened, and all of a sudden, like, volume started slapping through the roof. They're getting the STS attendances start to go up. First or second or third, weekend may not have been like the craziest turnout, but now it's like you getting these messages like, oh, we're packing out the house now. We're getting too many people there. We might have to go get something out here in Green Bay, right? So this is kind of like a very, very great moment for me, and for one of my, another one of my downline to want to open up a spot, and because they see the vision and they see the bigger picture, right? So I'm really excited for the things that are to come. And if let me tell y'all, I just got a text message from dang, I've got her name that fast. Laura Holloway just got a message, and it's gonna be some special guests at Chicago STS. She just messaged me on Facebook. I guess she just got back from Cancun, and they was out there in Cancun, right? And she just messaged me. I don't think she knew that I already knew that Kylie in Orlando was going to be on stage, and she wanted to let me know that they were going to be on stage. But she said that they were going to be, I guess, because whenever people, the President's team member come off of a vacation, they tend to go like visit each other. They like, I want to go visit your spot before I go back home. They take extended periods of time to go visit other spots. So we have a lot of people coming out here to visit us next week, and I'm telling y'all, it's going down in Chicago. It is going all the way down. I almost wish I lived back in Wisconsin so I could go, but I would tell y'all it was 95 degrees today, so I ain't trying to leave. So y'all enjoy that. Maybe in the summertime I'll come see y'all. But other than that, it's 8 o'clock. Well, 10 o'clock, probably your time. That's what I was getting to right now. If anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, please, or you can still make the trip. Lord, I looked at the degrees today, and I wasn't too impressed with the degrees in Chicago today. You're right, no excuses. I went to my STS already. You're absolutely right. And we got Dance Fit out here. Dance Fit we just started on Saturdays, so I'm gonna be shaking my booty at Dance Fit at our club out here. Y'all, you thought I was making some moves when the work came on. It's t-shirt weather. We said when the 45 degrees become t-shirt weather. Oh Lord, y'all used to that weather up there. Y'all crazy. Listen, t-shirt weather is cool. I like no shirt weather with the little European shorts. That's how I like to walk around outside. Y'all seen I've been working on my legs. Anyways, I know somebody had a question. And if you have a question, unmute yourself, please, and ask freely. I know somebody said they had a question.
It was Chris. Wondering what challenges we suggest.
Well, Chris, why don't you ask the question, Chris? Let's hear it. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. Come on, girl.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
But just kind of seeing, I do see you guys put a lot of challenges up, and I really don't know which ones to kind of throw out there for potential clients or anyone that's kind of wondering.
Now, when you say challenges, I know you're probably referring to like when who said something about a challenge that they were doing. I think Kylie said that they're doing a challenge. Truthfully and honestly, and maybe she can explain it to you differently too as well, but you really find what works for you. I've tried a lot of challenges. You know, I've tried like a 30-day ab challenge, a 30-day Prolesa challenge, a 14-day. It's all kind of like challenges that I've tried, and it's really trial and error. It's really finding what works for you and what's something that you can be consistent in. And truthfully, what it has to be is like something that you want to challenge yourself to. I think she said something about an accountability challenge. So what that does is it's like something that she needs to work on. So it's like, let me find other people who are going to want to join me in this, me being accountable of, let's just say, waking up at 5 o'clock every morning, or doing a personal development by 7 o'clock in the morning, having my 2 shakes a day. Let me find some accountability. Or like my sister Mia does, she does a 30-day, everyday healthy breakfast challenge. She does, she posts about it every day. Day 3 of my healthy breakfast challenge. Join me in, having a shake every morning. You find something that you need to work on, and then you challenge other people to do sort of the same thing along with you, and that implores people on your journey to go with you.
All right, thanks.
No problem. Anyone else? Andrew, question. Did you ever get your Herbalife to work? I think he froze. So Wisconsin Wi-Fi tripping today. But anybody else with any questions before we get off here?
Yes, I did get it to work today. My wife helped me switch up my browser, and that for some reason it wouldn't let me do it. I even tried to bring it up on my cell phone, and it gave me the same bar for some reason. I don't know why it did that.
Okay, because I just had somebody else just asked the same exact questions. So thank you. I'm going to go ahead and try to help her out as well. But thanks. I'm glad you got yours back up.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Anybody else with anything before we skedaddle off of here? Speaking of European sources, leg day for me, so I got to go do these legs. So if nobody has anything, as always, put your takeaways in the group, and we're going to unmute and say good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.